Live from the AOK Production House, studio number 2. I am Nick O'Kelly, your host for the evening. And as you might can tell, Derek is not with me in the studio tonight. This will not be a formal show, but we hated to not have anything, and so we decided that we would tonight recap the story of the man, the myth, the legend, the vampire, Val Paler. If you missed these skits, it goes back several episodes, but there were 4 total skits for the Val Paler story, and he will return. I'll go ahead and say that right now. But in case you missed it, now would be the perfect time to catch up. Maybe take your mind off of the fact that we had a hurricane this past week. This is why Derek's not in the studio. We both evacuated the South Carolina in order to get away from Hurricane Florence, and it's no laughing matter, that's for sure. However, what we do know is that there was not much reason for us here in Charleston to evacuate. You just never know with these things. I mean, they say the hurricane's coming. It was very, intense, I would say. More so than I've seen in the past. And, of course, a lot of people justify that by saying, well, there's more and more technology now. There's more 24-hour news broadcasts. And so, it's big news when a big natural disaster or weather event takes place. And, of course, we remember the situation that happened in Houston last year. Yeah, it was last year. And that was completely devastating. So nobody wants to be caught with their pants down, as the saying goes. And I will say that Myrtle Beach in South Carolina took it pretty hard as well. But if you followed the news at all, and it was at some points quite entertaining, I hate to make light of the situation, but nevertheless, the Weather Channel being on quote-unquote top of this thing from day one was a little over the top. I don't know if you saw the video of the one guy from the Weather Channel who was, it seemed, barely able to stand up in some parking lot. I think it was in Wilmington, or maybe this was Myrtle Beach. But anyway, behind him in the background, there was these 2 guys walking by very nonchalantly, no issue. You could tell that their clothes were not blowing in the wind very much. And they were just having a nice stroll as the weatherman, like I said, was acting as though it was very hard to stand up straight. So sometimes I think they go over the top. But that being said, North Carolina coast especially really got hit quite hard by Hurricane Florence. Our thoughts and prayers going out to the people who are in Wilmington, as it is for the most part underwater, New Bern as well, and several other coastal towns. Now, I have family that lives in the central part of North Carolina, and they are currently experiencing very high volume of rain, some power outages as well, some flooding in low-lying zones. So all the way inward towards the middle of North Carolina also kind of received a pretty, I don't want to say devastating blow, but certainly a very bad blow from this hurricane inland, and then, of course, devastating there on the coast of North Carolina. We skirted it here in Charleston. I almost feel bad about that, but there was a mandatory evacuation underway as of last Monday night, which was pretty interesting, in my opinion. Like I said, I've weathered many hurricanes and tropical storms while I've lived here in Charleston. I don't think I've ever seen them reverse the interstate lanes so early in the situation. And that's exactly what they did this past week as of, they said 5 a.m. on Tuesday, although when my wife and I were leaving Charleston, 26 was backed up to the point that I felt as though they were going to reverse the other lanes earlier than that 5 a.m. mark. But anyway, it is what it is. We were not prepared for a full show tonight. Skits are in the work for next week. Guests are in the work for next week. But this week, we just weren't able to get it done in time. So we ask you, we invite you here from To The Echo radio show to sit back and relax and enjoy our recap of the Val Paler story. He, of course, was a creation of mine, a vampire. Well, it started as a vampire vacuum salesman. One day I was driving down the road and I said, what could I do for skits? We're really trying to create some sort of a universe here with this radio show, a world that we can build upon. All of our skits at this point take place in the same city, Justice City, as was named in one of the skits you're going to hear today. So we enjoy that quite much. But I was driving down the road thinking of what would be a funny character to create. And I thought, what about a vampire who was a vacuum salesman, right? Because I myself have had people come to the front door and try to sell me carpet cleaning supplies or vacuums, and they invite themselves in pretty much in order to show a demonstration to you, and you have to shoo them back out. It may be even illegal now to do that, but I have had that happen on occasion. So I thought, how funny would it be if we had a vampire who did that? Of course, vampires can't enter the house, according to mythology, without having an invitation. So that's the setup of this situation, and of course, we made it into something of a sitcom, and pretty much all of these skits, I should say, are more or less a parody of a different type of show, a different specific show that just simply involves Val Paler and his wife, Jessie. So, to start off, we have a sitcom known as Val Paler, the Vacuum Salesman.
Hey, dear. How was your day? You look stressed.
Yeah, you could say that again. Training all day, I think I'm going to make a terrible salesman. I'm just so nervous asking people to let me into their homes, you know? I don't like it when people approach me cold turkey. Why would they?
Because they're the turkeys and you're a wolf. You're faster, stronger, and bite harder. Val Paler, you listen to me. You're the most charming, charismatic, likable shark of a male I have ever met. And I've met quite a few.
What the hell does that mean?
Nothing. Just that I believe in you. Not to mention that I believe in your wallet. As in, if it doesn't fill up with money for our bills, I'll vacuum out your life savings and leave you high and dry. So get your ass out there and sell, sell, sell.
Yeah, thanks. That's real motivational. Just what I need. More opportunity to worry that you're going to leave me.
I'm not going anywhere. Unless you go broke. Which I know you won't, because, I mean, if you can convince me to let you into my pants, you can convince people to let you into their house for a vacuum demonstration, right?
I guess that makes sense. What would I do without you, Jessie?
Suffer from serious depression, get fat, and grow impotent. What do you think?
God, you're in some kind of cynical mood today. What's got you so on edge?
Oh. Those stupid daywalkers in the neighborhood have been gossiping about me again, saying that I'm a homebody, a trophy wife. Me. Can you imagine? Just because they don't see me going to work during the day doesn't mean I don't hit it hard on the third shift. The nerve of those hags.
What do you worry about those witches so much for? They're the ones not working. Besides, how do you know what they've been saying? You got some surveillance I don't know about?
No, I wish. Tiffany next door called earlier and told me all about their little dinner party. Didn't even think to invite me.
As if they would want you in their house anyway.
I'll get them, Val, if it's the last thing I do. Mark my words, I'll get an invite to their little sorority before you ever sell your first vacuum.
Care to make it interesting?
Absolutely.
You're on.
All right, dear. I'm going to bed. Will you join me?
I should, but I'm going to watch the news first. I'll be up in a bit.
Not too late now. You need your rest for tomorrow.
Yeah. Good night.
The family is shocked at the death of their beloved grandfather, murdered on the very threshold of his home, evidently just after dusk. Neighbors say there was no noise or sign of struggle, and the assailant has yet to be found by police. One thing this news station would like everyone to know: never let an uninvited guest into your home without prior knowledge of who or what they are.
Oh, great. Just what I need. Public terror on my first day as a door-to-door salesman. Stranger danger. I wonder if Nick Gruff the crime dog has been campaigning in the neighborhood this week. All right, recruits. Zip up your pants, stand up straight, and shut your mouths. The whining and dining is over. Now it's time to get in the ass. Wow, Joe's got a mouth on him. What did you say, maggot? Nothing, sir. Just anxious to get out there and sell some vacuums. That's all, sir. Yeah, right. Let me tell you something, Peabody. You'll sell a vacuum today, or you'll turn your mouth into a vacuum, and you'll never speak again when it's over. Selling is living, gentlemen. To sell is to live. To fail is to die, and we wouldn't want to die all over again, would we? No, sir! Here's the deal. All you gotta do is get an intro, politely knock on the door, wait a few seconds, and when it opens, bam! Hit 'em hard and fast with your pitches. 5 seconds, ladies. That's all it takes to win or lose the heart of a potential client. This vacuum sells itself. The only question for you is, are you going to suck? Or blow when that door opens? You think he's intentionally incorporating the sex innuendo, or is he just blabbing on without thinking? Val the Talking Monkey! Yes, sir! Since you seem so keen on interrupting my classroom, how's about you get up here and practice on me? I don't know, sir. I'm really not ready for... Get up here and sell me a vacuum, or I'll bust your chops in the next year. All right. Hurry up, pansy. I don't have all day. Oh, okay. Knock, knock, knock. Who's at my door, Oh my God, sir. Why do you have a gun in there? Oh, I'm sorry. Did my clock make you uneasy, monkey? What are you, a little girl? Lesson number 1, you maggots. Never get distracted from the task at hand. You've got one job. And do you know what that job is, Paler? To sell vacuums, sir. No! To sell yourself. If you clench your butt cheeks every time you hear a gun cock, do you think anyone's gonna buy you? Be strong. Be stern. Be a goddamn vacuum salesman, or I will put my foot in your tightly clenched rectum. Do I make myself clear? Sir, yes, sir. Then get your inventory, get out there, and get out of my sight. What are you in here wasting my time for? Go sell! And don't come back here, Paler, until you're at least one vacuum lighter. Am I clear? Sir, yes, sir. I've never seen a more disappointing and pale group of recruits. I wonder how many I'll see on the news tonight.
Can I help you?
Hello, ma'am. My name is Val Paler, and I am with 5 Vamp Vacuums. May I have a moment of your time?
Al Taylor?
Excuse me?
Did you say your name was Al Taylor? That's my grandson's name. You don't look anything like him.
No, ma'am. Val Paler is my name. I am with 5 Vamp Vacuums. I wanted to talk with you today about whether or not you're happy with your vacuum cleaner.
My grandson is such a nice boy, but I do believe he is a good bit older than you. He likes to play golf. Are you a golfer, Al?
No, ma'am. My name is Val. And no, I don't golf. But as I was saying, are you happy with your vacuum cleaner?
Al has lots of money. He hired a maid. I'm not sure why he would need a vacuum cleaner. Do you know my grandson, Al Taylor?
No, ma'am. But here's the thing. I am not here to sell anything to your grandson. I'm wondering about you. Are you, ma'am, happy with your vacuum cleaner?
If you don't want to sell anything to my grandson, then why are you here?
Ma'am, I want to sell you a vacuum cleaner. May I come in and show you how well this one works?
I never let anyone in unless my grandson is home. The TV says not to let in any strangers, so I always wait on my grandson.
Ah, does he live here? Is he home right now?
Who?
Your grandson.
My grandson is Al Taylor. Have you ever met him?
Oh, my lord, ma'am. Are you off your meds?
How dare you! Get off my porch! Shoo! Shoo! And don't come back until you have spoken with my grandson. I don't buy anything from vultures like you. Shoo!
Oh, okay. Calm down. I'm going. Have a nice day, you old bag.
Sucker. What a dumbass trying to pull one over on me selling me a crappy vacuum. I wouldn't let a vamp in this house if it was the last model on the market.
hell is it? Do you have any idea what time of night it is?
Yes, sir. Hello, sir. My name is Val Paler. I am with 5 Vamp Vacuums, and I wanted to talk to you about whether or not you're satisfied with your current vacuum cleaner.
Vacuum cleaner, eh? Don't have one of those. I guess I could use one. It gets pretty dirty in here. My feet are bionic. They attract all kinds of dirt.
Well then, sir, you're in luck. I've got just the vacuum for you. You see, with a 5 Vamp vacuum, you get not only the highest quality vacuum on the market, but also the most suck for your buck. It'll suck a golf ball right through a garden hose faster than you can say vacuum.
Wow, that's a pretty derogatory image. You got any proof to back up that claim?
Of course. Simply invite me inside and I'll give you a sucking demonstration like you've never before witnessed.
I don't know. I've seen some pretty hardcore sucking in my day. All right, I'll tell you what. I'm bored. Come on in and show me what you got.
Indeed I will, sir.
Hey, where's your vacuum? How are you going to demonstrate sucking capability with no vacuum?
Well, let me show you.
Ah! You bit me! Why are you sucking my blood? Oh, I get it. Damn it. You're a f***ing vampire. 5 Vamp vacuum. What a crock.
Hello, dear. You'll never guess how my day went.
You'll never guess mine.
You got invited into the sorority.
Yep, turned all 3 of those witches. Perhaps I am the one who should be out selling vacuums.
Get over yourself. I got my first sale today.
You sold a vacuum?
Yep, landed it right on an unsuspecting douche downtown. Nick Bosley or something. What a dummy. So, I guess they'll all be in vampire training together right about now.
I wonder how the girls will deal with Trainer Joe.
Yeah, I'm not so sure about that Bosley character either. What's your name, maggot?
Bosley, sir. Nick Bosley.
Bosley, eh? Who turned you?
Val, sir. Val Paler. Sold me a Vamp vacuum, too. I haven't used it, though.
Yeah, well, that'll teach you to let strangers into your house. Don't you watch the news, Bosley?
No, sir. I don't own a TV. I stole one from some family, but it broke.
You sound like a loser. But here's the thing, Bosley. Today, you're gonna learn to be a winner. Those vacuums aren't worth shit. But that's not the point. You're here to learn how to sell your disgusting self, Bosley, not a vacuum. That's what being a 5 Vamp vacuum salesman is all about. Now go sit down and shut up. Ahem. All right, maggots, zip up your pants, stand up straight, and shut your mouth. The whining and dining is over. Now it's time to get in the ass. It's the first day of hell, ladies, but we're gonna make vampires out of you yet.
I'm not sure if life can get any worse than this.
What did you say, maggot?
Nothing, sir. Just anxious to get out there and sell some vacuums.
That's what I thought, Bosley. That's what I thought.
The story tonight is one of a missing persons case. One Nick Bosley, former child musician, bank president, convicted felon, and known bionic man, has disappeared with a trail of blood leading from his home. When asked if they would follow the trail, the police simply responded, what's the point? And while no one seems to care what has happened to Bosley, the real question is, could there be a serial killer in our midst? More on that later, as we turn now to Joan and her story on rabbits mating in the wild. Joan?
Well, as you may or may not be able to tell from that particular skit, I had a lot of fun with the laugh track. I think it really adds something to it, and it was meant to be a bit of a sitcom. From there, we really went off the rails. I didn't know where Val Paler was going, where that whole story was going, but I know I enjoyed writing that character. And so the next, for me, logical step was to kind of keep it in the mindset of a television show. As you heard from that first episode there, Val and Jesse had, let's say, victimized many people in their neighborhood, including their next-door neighbors. And so, as one might would, the HOA kicked them out. Yeah, they didn't go to jail or anything like that. There was no police investigations, just simply the HOA kicked them out. And so they needed a new home. So I'm sure many of you have seen the show House Hunters. Well, right now we're going to bring you what we like to call House or Home Searchers, starring Val and Jesse.
This week on Home Searchers, we find two alleged vampires searching for a new home after their current HOA kicked them out of the neighborhood for allegedly murdering too many tenants and drinking their blood.
This is a nice home, but I was really looking for more of a turret-style upper floor rather than an attic. I need better access to the outside air for when I have to fly out at night, you know, hunting for prey.
Val, there's no way you're going to put this much money into a fixer-upper, right? I mean, we're already going to have to outfit the subfloor with our buried caskets. I don't want to have to replace the old carpeting, too.
The problem is, these two nighttime stalkers can't seem to agree on a style. He's looking for a more classic medieval taste. She's asking for southern antebellum. Between the two, who knows if this realtor will find them a house or simply die trying.
Listen, Mr. Realtor, how many times do I have to say it?
Yes, sir. Mr. Paler, I understand.
No, I don't think you do. I need a stone floor that's cold and damp. You're showing me houses that are bright and warm.
Yes, Mr. Paler, but you have to understand, in this particular city...
No, I don't care what you say. This city has everything I'm looking for. Keep trying, or I will drain the blood from your head faster than you can say new home.
At the end of the day, it's fight or flight for our newest clients on Home Searchers, New Orleans.
Jesse, will you hand me that packaging tape? I need to seal this box.
It's moving day for the Paylors, and the couple are boxing up their effects and preparing to meet with their newly appointed realtor.
What's in that box? Did you label it?
It's only my capes and boots. No, I didn't label it. I know what is in there.
You still need to put the label on the box. Otherwise, once it gets moved into the new house, we won't remember. I need to tell the movers where to put it, so I need all the boxes labeled so I can group them together. Get it? You never listen.
You'll never listen. I hate writing with Sharpies. The scent makes me woozy, and then I my pants. I wish you could get over your foul mood. This move is already stressful enough.
Maybe if you would spread out your kills to more than just the residents of this neighborhood, we wouldn't be moving in the first place.
Maybe if you would shut up with your I could think. I don't go to other neighborhoods because the long flight hurts my back. Besides, it's not like you didn't kill the Stepford wife next door.
Oh, you poor creature. Does your back hurt? Well, now thanks to your weak back, we have to move clear across town. Also, that witch had it coming, and you know it.
Still, it's not just my fault we're getting kicked out. You are only acting like this because we are in front of the cameras. You wouldn't dare speak to me this way in private.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Hello, Paylors. So great to meet you.
Yeah, save it, realtor. We are not in the mood. Have you gathered some houses for us?
You'll be happy to know that I have scavenged no less than 3 homes for your viewing pleasure. Between the 3 of them, I am sure we will find the right place for you.
Only 3? What, is the television network on a budget? How are we supposed to decide between only 3 houses? What if we don't like any of them?
I'm sure we can find something suitable for both of you.
Yeah, well, you better, or you'll be hitchhiking to the nearest blood drive. My name is Jessie Paler, and we're excited to be on Home Searchers this week. We watch the show pretty often. I am looking for a southern antebellum house, you know, like an old plantation home with lots of land and great big trees. But I want it to be located right downtown New Orleans. I like the idea of a bustling cityscape surrounding my cozy lair.
I'm Val, and I'm looking for a medieval castle. I like the pointed turret rooms on top and large stone stairwells and walls. A moat would be nice as well, to keep out the hordes. We often have villagers come after us with pitchforks, so there's nothing like a little extra security around the home. I don't want to be right downtown, but a nice ledge overlooking the city would certainly be enjoyable.
So, first of all, my name is Mr. Realtor.
Your name is Realtor, and you're a realtor. What, is that, a joke?
Hey, shut up, Val. You don't think your name is a little funny? And he's not making fun of you.
Why don't you shut your mouth, you hussy?
Guys. Really, Miss Paler, it's all right. It's only a generic name the studio gave me for the show.
Oh, I see. You don't want us to know your real name, so what, that we don't come find you in the night? If we wanted to kill you, we would have feasted the moment you walked through the door.
Ah, yes, indeed. No, it is simply protocol. But now, back to the homes. We have 3 for you to look at today, but I wanted to sort of warn you that we really don't have anything like either of the home styles you have requested. I mean, a southern antebellum mansion is certainly available in this state, but not in the center of New Orleans. And I'm afraid, Mr. Paler, that a medieval castle simply doesn't exist in the United States. We really aren't old enough to have something from that time period not readily available, and New Orleans is also below sea level, so there are no ledges with which to even build a castle on.
What kind of joke is this? You bring us on your television show and then you tell us we can't have what we asked for? I thought you were the miracle workers. Where's my behind-the-scenes magic?
No, sir, we are just simply real estate agents. And frankly, I can only offer you what we have.
This is an outrage. I want to speak with the producers.
Uh-oh. Looks like trouble is brewing early for our realtor in this episode. With requests so far outside of the norm, it's going to be an uphill battle for Mr. Realtor. Hopefully he can find a compromise between these two bickering bedfellows. Our couple has an interesting story, to say the least. In fact, they met under circumstances unique to probably 99% of the average population.
I met Val in a bar. He had just moved here from Transylvania. Or at least that's what he said. I didn't believe him at first, but after going home with him, there could be no doubt.
Yes, I sucked her blood the very first night. It was magical. I was a very lonely vampire, so turning this beautiful woman after only talking to her for 30 minutes seemed like the perfect solution.
A true love story. But now the question is, how much can these monster mashers shell out for a new home?
So I'm a stay-at-home vampire. We don't have any children, so I don't work at all. It's not that I'm lazy, it's just that being one of the undead and all, I just don't really see the point anymore.
I am a door-to-door vacuum salesman. I do pretty well, but the problem is I often find myself feeding on clients before they actually pay me. It's an ongoing issue. I'm going to therapy.
We have a budget of $5 million. With Val's vast inheritance, our day-to-day income doesn't really affect our choice in home. So we figure if we have to move, we'll make this one count.
And now it's time to see what our couple thinks of the homes Mr. Realtor has found. Will they find something worthwhile, or will Mr. Realtor be going home in a body bag? Only time will tell.
So here we are. The first option on the list. It's not really a big house, but it certainly does come with the land you were asking for, Jesse.
This is a f***ing trailer. Mr. Realtor, I think perhaps you've misunderstood something.
Not only that, is this a landfill?
Well, now, here's the deal. Jesse had asked for southern antebellum, but being that there isn't anything like that near the city with that much land, we did find a private waste management company who was interested in selling their land and business. The owner has been living in a trailer on the landfill, so you could use that as a temporary home and then build your dream house, still maintaining how much land is already here.
That is the stupidest thing I have ever heard. I asked for a mansion, and you show me a trailer on a landfill?
Well, now, there is one more plus here. This comes with a price tag of only $100,000, which would be well beneath your budget of $5 million.
$100,000 for a trailer? You must be out of your mind. You think you can pull one over on us like that? I wouldn't pay $5 for this dump.
Well, we came all this way. Would you at least like to see inside?
I'll tell you what I'd like to see.
Wait! What are you doing with that gas can? Why are you pouring gas on it? Wait, don't blow it up. Well, we'll have to pay for that.
Then you should have given us a worthy option.
Don't you guys watch this show? We always show two bad options and only one, which is obviously your final choice.
Well, that is dumb and no one informed me. Let us move on to the next option. For your sake, Mr. Realtor, it better be a good one.
After viewing the first home, Val and Jesse have decided it wasn't for them. Mr. Realtor is beginning to understand the brevity of his situation, and so, now it's time to look at a house that might appeal more to Val. A stone and brick ranch located in the center of the city. This one has a higher price tag, but much less in the way of what the couple has asked for.
So this one is not quite a medieval castle, but it is constructed entirely with stone and bricks. I think it gives it that old world feel you might be looking for. Lots of windows, all one story, craftsman style, and there is lots of room inside. Also, this house is going to run $500,000.
Okay, I guess we can take a look, but this is certainly not what I had in mind. There's no turrets, and if it's only $500,000, I would say it is far too small.
The two follow Mr. Realtor inside, eager to see the first real home of the day. Jesse is not quite sure, as the lot is only a half acre, and the house itself needs a few pricey upgrades.
So as you can see, this one would be a bit of a fixer-upper. It was built in 1950, and it's been empty for about 5 years. So, new carpets, new wiring, and plumbing, but like I said, lots of natural light.
I don't think you quite understand. I'm not looking for bright and warm. I want dark and damp.
You know, Val, we're already going to have to outfit the subfloor with our buried caskets. I don't want to have to replace the old carpeting, too.
Did you not just hear what I said to the man, Jesse? This is not going to work at all.
I was just agreeing with you. Val, you don't have to argue with me in every scene of the show.
I do if you keep saying stupid things.
Guys, how about we take a look at the bedroom?
How about you shut your mouth while I yell at my wife?
Yell at me? You should be yelling at him. He's the one who's showing us the opposite of what we asked for.
But you're the one who wanted to come on this show and expose ourselves to the world. We're already on the run after killing the neighbors. I knew this was a bad idea.
You guys, you might want to watch what you...
Watch what I say? Is that what you were going to say? Watch what I say? You should watch what you say to me.
Oh my God! You're sucking my blood!
Oh, Val, I forgot how manly you are when you feed on innocent victims.
Yes, I often surprise myself too.
But what are we going to do for a house now?
Well, I imagine Mr. Realtor has a nice home. Quick, get his wallet. Tonight, we dine in a new kitchen.
Well, our couple has finally found a new home. Turns out, Mr. Realtor lived in an old antebellum row home in downtown New Orleans. And with the realtor dead, there won't be too many people looking to take that home anytime soon. Not quite what the two had asked for separately, but a good enough compromise for this show.
Val, will you hand me that pan over there? I need to get the chicken frying.
Sure, here you go.
I said pan. That is a pot.
Well, how the hell am I supposed to know? I don't eat food.
Yes, but if you wanted to eat our guests, you need to win them over with food.
Oh, you think you're so smart? Maybe I will feed on you tonight instead of the new neighbors.
Maybe I'll feed you to the new neighbors.
Hey, is dinner going to be ready anytime soon? I really should be getting home. My wife is going to wonder where I went.
Actually, dinner is ready now.
Ha ha ha. Looks like our nighttime lovers haven't yet learned their lesson. Quick to bite can mean quick to jail. I would say it's only a matter of time before they join us for another episode of Home Searchers, New Orleans.
Well, who says that murder does not come without consequences, or does come without consequences? In the next episode, again, we're keeping this with a television theme. So as you heard, that was a bit of a parody on House Hunters. Now I want to call it Home Searchers. And so we move on to spoofing Cops. I always wonder, whatever happened to that show? And is it still on? I think Cops is still on these days. Who watches that anymore? Of course, I guess if it's still on, somebody's watching it. All right, so this is a little skit that we like to call Traffic Cops. Enjoy. So I've been on the force now for a long time. Yeah, a long time. Seen lots of interesting characters, but, you know, in 6 months, one is bound to see a lot of crazy people on the sidewalk. Yeah, I really enjoy being a traffic cop. You're really one with the people, you know? With the finger resting gently on the pulse of society. Really listening to that heartbeat. And when it asks for advice, I'm always right there to lead. And, give directions to the nearest Arby's.
Hey, pig! Stop wasting my f***ing tax dollars! Get to work, asshole!
Yeah, we get that kind of thing a lot, but I know what they really mean. It's just a nice way of saying, thanks for the good work, keep it up.
You pig! Where's the donuts?
Well, looks like the church is about to let out. I better take my position. This is the biggest day for traffic cops. Sunday, the day all the Christians go to church. And when they let out, I'm here to help them pull out of the driveway and onto the highway. It's a tough job, but someone's got to do it. Actually, we get paid overtime just for sitting here, so it's a good gig. Come on out. You're good.
Hey, watch it, asshole. I'm driving here.
Hey, what gives, pig? We're trying to pull out, you wave us in front of oncoming traffic? Where did you learn to be a traffic cop? The go-kart palace?
Yeah, I get that a lot. These guys don't quite appreciate the help we traffic cops are out here to give, but that's why I'm a public servant. I take the thankless jobs. Come on through. Coast is clear.
Hey, you, Koopa. How about directing traffic in a sewer and get the hell out of here?
I always thought the church people would be more understanding of the position I hold, but they seem to have the nastiest mouths of anyone I see out here on the street.
2212 in progress, 2212, on the corner of Buttocks and Shaft Streets. Jaywalker in progress. All traffic units respond.
Well, finally, got some action. Gotta go!
Hey, pig face. F*** you. Get back to your post.
It's a hard job, all right, but when there's a traffic violation in progress, these guys just have to fend for themselves. I gotta get while the getting's good. 2212 is a jaywalker. In fact, it's multiple jaywalkers. I haven't had the opportunity to bust one of these bad boys my whole time here. I despise traffic violators. There's a crosswalk, you know? So I'll do whatever I have to just to bring these scumbags to justice.
Oh my God! My wife, Jessie! Jessie, wake up, darling, wake up! Don't leave me like this with these people!
Alright, everyone, calm down. Traffic Sergeant Plow has arrived. What seems to be the trouble?
Well, officer, my wife and I just left our home and we were on our way to suck blood of our neighbor. I mean, eat dinner with our neighbor. And when we went to cross the street, a madman drove right into my wife.
Huh. Daywalkers, eh?
What did you call me?
Jaywalkers. You know, sir, you can't just cross the street without looking twice. And certainly not outside of a designated crosswalk.
There is no crosswalk. This is a neighborhood, you dummy. And that driver was going far too fast. Must have been 65 miles an hour.
Okay, son, okay, I understand. I just need to ask you a few questions.
Okay, no problem.
What is your name, son?
Val Paler.
Nice to meet you, Val. I'm Sergeant Plow.
Sergeant Plow? What kind of name is that? What, is this a joke? My wife is dying.
No, son, that is my real name. But I need to make a report here. What is your wife's name?
She is Jessie. We are the Paler family. We live right there.
Sir, excuse me. We need to get her to the hospital.
What took you so long? My wife has lost a lot of blood. I will replace it with the blood from your face if you don't save her.
No problem, sir. We're taking her to Justice Hospital right around the corner.
All right, Mr. Paler, I think you better start from the top. Tell me again how this happened.
I already told you. We were leaving our house, and when we came to the street, we saw nothing coming, and we began to cross. Out of nowhere, this car came flying through and ran right into Jessie. I think she's going to die, officer. What are you going to do about this outrage?
We will try to find the perpetrator, Mr. Paler, but first, I must take care of the 2212 in progress.
2212? What are you talking about?
Well, sir, you were, in fact, jaywalking. And I'm afraid in the town of Justice, Louisiana, that's a misdemeanor. I'm going to have to issue a ticket.
A ticket? Are you crazy? You must be out of your mind. My wife might be dead and you're charging me with jaywalking.
Sir, the law is the law, and I am a traffic cop. I gotta do what I gotta do. Now, let me just write this thing up.
Sir, I am very sorry to inform you. Your wife didn't make it. She's gone.
All right, Mr. Paler, here's your ticket. You can take care of this on the 15th at Justice City Courthouse.
My wife has died, and you're giving me a ticket because you just have to do what you have to do?
That's about the long and short of it, son. I am sorry about your wife. Please make sure to look both ways next time you cross the street.
I understand, officer. I also understand that I have to do what I have to do. Oh, positive. I would not have expected that from such a negative policeman.
Well, I'm a vampire traffic cop now. Been on the force for 8 months total. But I've only been a vampire for the last 2. It's a thankless job, but now I can feed on my victims and give them traffic violation tickets. It's a thankless job, but someone's got to do it.
2212 in progress. 2212.
There's always a jaywalker in Justice City. Someday I'll bring them all to justice. But for now, it's feeding time.
Next time on Traffic Cops, Sergeant Plow has a run-in with a demon who just ran his last red light. Will he catch him in time to write up a ticket? Or will he feed on his blood and forget? Anything can happen when the traffic cops are on the scene, but you'll have to find out on the next episode.
Well, without a doubt, that's pretty intense stuff there for the traffic cops. It's like he said, it's a thankless job, but someone's got to do it. Remember back in elementary school when you wished you could be the cross guard? And then you find out it was just someone's mom. Well, anyway, this brings us back around to our last skit so far. And, of course, as you heard, Jesse did not make it, which is very interesting. But anything is possible in this world of fiction that we've created. And so now, Val, being all alone and a recent widower, just simply has to find a new roommate. First it was find a house, now it's find a roommate, and you can be guaranteed that whatever roommate he happens to find, well, it's going to be an odd roommate situation. See what I did there? Like the Odd Couple? This is The Odd Roommates.
Lucy, I'm home!
You know, I really wish you would stop saying that every time you walk into my apartment. Have you ever heard of the concept of a worn-out joke? It's enough already.
I'm just trying to lighten the mood. Maybe I wouldn't have to work so hard if you weren't so uptight.
I'm not uptight. I'm just tired of your happy-go-lucky attitude. How are you keeping that goofy smile anyway, with your wife being so freshly dead?
I wouldn't say fresh. I checked her corpse last night. She's pretty rotten, as a matter of fact.
Gross. What do you mean, checked it? You started grave robbing now, too?
I wanted to make sure she didn't have any jewels on her. I'm struggling, if you haven't noticed. Vacuum sales haven't been so hot lately. In fact, they suck.
Very funny, deadhead. I guess I'll take a joke over television references any day. By the way, what's the deal with the blood in the refrigerator? We both live here, you know. I don't like blood bottles next to my milk.
They're sealed. Besides, the donor was clean. You've got nothing to worry about.
Yeah, like you give a blood test to all of your victims. You know, when I agreed to this living arrangement, I assumed you would clean up after yourself.
I assumed you wouldn't be an asshole. I suppose assumptions make an out of you and me. Ha ha ha.
Assume, jackass. Assume makes an out of you and me. You sound like a damn fool when you say it wrong.
Yes, well, either way, you are an asshole.
Get the blood out of the fridge or I will rip you a new asshole.
And I will rip your head clean from your shoulders.
Get out of here, Paler. You don't scare me. If it wasn't for me, you'd be out on the street. Not many females to prey on when you're homeless, that's for sure. You owe me.
Ah, yes. That reminds me, I have a nice young lady coming over this evening. I hope you won't mind if I ask for a little privacy in the living room.
Jesus, Val, take a little grieving time, why don't you? How is it that a vampire your age is getting more action than a vibrant young man like me? It's a sin!
Yes, indeed. When 500 years old you reach, look as good you will not.
Thanks, Yoda, but I don't get it. How do you land all of these women and as a widower?
I learned a long time ago that if you simply invite them into your home first, you don't have to wait for an invitation from them. Very simple.
So then, you're a gigolo?
No, I'm a vampire. And a very sexy one at that.
Yeah, well, just make sure you clean up after yourself. I'm tired of all the stains on the couch. Blood doesn't come out so easy, don't you know? What the hell?
So warm and tasty.
Dear God, Val, what the hell? You know, you're never gonna find a new mate if you kill all of them.
Who says I want a new mate? Draining the blood from them is much more satisfactory.
Good Lord, Val. That's horrifying.
What do you expect? I'm a monster.
Is she dead?
Yes, indeed. Quite dead, I would say. Now, help me take care of the body.
Are you out of your mind? You want me to be party to this horror? No way. That's aiding and abetting.
Nick, don't be such a prude. This is your house, after all. Do you want the stench of corpse lingering? It will attract the cops.
You know, there is a simple solution to that.
And what would that be?
Stop killing people in my apartment. You are the worst kind of roommate. I don't charge enough for this
Yes, well, too bad no one else wants to be a roommate with a con artist.
At least I don't kill my victims.
Yes, and stealing their money is so much better.
Hey, I paid my dues to society, buddy. Jail time. What have you paid?
Years of solitary lifestyle is payment enough, especially when it is 500 years.
Jesus.
Now, are you going to help me or not? We need to get this body in the ground.
Fine. Next time I need a roommate, I won't be going to Craigslist. That's for sure.
Okay, grab the saw.
What?
Do you want to carry the body outside in an apartment complex? We have to cut her up if you expect to get it outside with no suspicion.
This is insane.
I've already drained the blood. It won't make a mess, you uptight neat freak.
Somehow, that is the least of my worries.
Good evening, boys. Looks like you got a big load there. Mind if I ask you what it is and where you're going?
Yes, officer. Good evening. Just taking out some trash. Had a big party last night. Lots of bottles to throw out.
Bottles, eh? You know, the recycling is the other direction.
Yes, officer, we are aware, but we choose not to recycle. Social protest, you know.
Indeed, but the dumpster's also the other direction. Are you planning to throw these bottles in the woods?
Well, officer, we feel to truly recycle, you have to simply bury trash in the ground. Al natural, you know? Makes sense to us.
Well, boys, I can't say that makes any sense to me. In fact, sounds like a pretty thin excuse. Why don't you go ahead and open up that bag so I can see what's inside?
Why don't you turn around, fat boy, and head back to your car before this gets any more complicated?
Val!
Excuse me, son?
I am not your son, pigman.
He's just joking, officer. He's had a long night.
Not as long as you're going to have.
Val!
He was going to be a problem. Now he's not. Problem solved.
Yeah, well, my problem is still going. You. What are we going to do now?
Did you bring that saw?
Dear Lord. I think I'm going to lose my dinner. Val, why are all the dishes dirty? It's your week to clean the dishes.
What did you say? I wasn't paying attention to your nagging.
My nagging? You know, I helped you bury not one, but 2 bodies last night. The least you could do is keep up with your end of the cleaning.
I'm so sorry. I was not aware that our cleaning duties around the apartment were so well scheduled.
Yeah, you see this calendar on the fridge? It details what weeks we each have which duties. Though I noticed that you often don't keep up your end of the bargain.
Oh, and what bargain is that, might I ask?
The one that says I let you live here and feed on innocent victims night in and night out as long as you wash the dishes after you use all of them.
I'm not so sure if that's really a bargain.
I would think keeping you out of prison is a decent enough trade-off for some minor manual labor.
I've gotten along pretty well the last 500 years, so I'm just not so sure I agree.
Look, Paler, either you wash these dishes or I will kick your ass.
Just you tried, Bosley. My ass is quite fast, you will find out. And if you were to try and assault me, I will remove the head from your body.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Why don't you come a little closer and say that to my face?
I will, bitch.
There you go. Right through the heart. Just like you like it, Paler.
You stabbed me. Oh, I didn't think you had it in you.
Well, now you have it in you. A stake right through the heart. Not such a con artist now, am I? Well, where's that saw? I need to keep a souvenir from this experience.
Good evening, sir. There were reports of screaming and sounds of scuffle coming from this apartment.
Oh, that's interesting. No scuffle here, officer. Just a nice, quiet evening with myself.
Is that so?
Yes, indeed.
Then, may I ask, why is there a severed head on your shelf?
Yes, well, I am something of a collector, officer. You see, I'm a big fan of the classic horror movies, and on a trip last year to Transylvania, I found the perfect souvenir. The severed head of a vampire.
Is that so?
Yes, indeed, officer.
Well then, may I ask, why is there a body on your floor without a head?
Yes, officer, let me ask you something. Have you heard of the vampire who's been going around the town, feeding on victims? His name was Val Paler.
Yes, in fact, his wife died a few weeks ago. He turned my partner into a vampire.
Well, you're looking at all the remains of him. He was my roommate, but I found him to be quite dirty.
Dirty? Dirty, sir?
A slob, officer. Leaving blood all over the apartment, bodies in the bedroom. I simply had to do something. You'll understand.
Yes, I see. What's your name, son?
Nick, sir. Nick Bosley.
Nick Bosley. The infomercial guy. You sold the invisibility glasses.
The very same.
Crazy. I love those things. I use them with my wife in the bedroom. Put them on, and suddenly I'm naked.
Yes, well, that is the idea. Naked to the eye.
Well, Mr. Bosley, you have yourself a nice night. But if I were you, I would clean this mess up before morning. You wouldn't want any more suspicious neighbors.
Yes, officer, I will. I'm going to strip clean this whole place now that my messy roommate has been taken care of.
Good. Have a nice night, sir.
Yes, thanks, officer. You too. Clean up indeed. That gives me an idea. Vampire away. I'll make millions. Hi, I'm Nick Bosley, and let me tell you about a recent experience of mine. It was quite horrific. You see, I was living with a slob. Never cleaned up after himself. In fact, he left blood all over the apartment. The thing is, he was also a vampire, and in my experience, I can say with 100% guarantee, those guys suck. Have you ever been dealing with a dirty, slobby vampire in your life? If so, I have just the remedy. It's called Vampire Away, the only wearable that allows you to get rid of those beasts with just one whiff. It's a necklace made of garlic that you wear around your neck. The catch is, it also holds one long silver knife. You simply approach the vamp, let him smell you, then while he's stunned, stab him in the heart. Don't worry, it's completely legal because the cops don't want to deal with him either. Vampire Away, the wearable technology that lets you wear out those closeted bloodsuckers. I'm Nick Bosley, and I approve of Vampire Away murder. Well, thanks for joining us here for this recap of the Val Paler story. I have been your host, Nick O'Kelly, and we will be back live next Sunday night. So we will not be on the air Wednesday evening. Like I said, because of the hurricane, we just got a little thrown off, shall we say. So we hope that you've enjoyed this. And, check us out on Twitter, at To The Echo Radio. Check us out with our lovely hosts at Spreaker.com, SPREAKER.com. Search for To The Echo Radio Show. You can download all of these shows from there, as well as Apple iTunes, if you just search for To The Echo Radio. And, of course, our website, www.totheecho.com. gmail.com. I'm Nick O'Kelly, and we'll see you next Sunday night, 9 o'clock. Have a nice week.